to go in. That is the... Everybody in the world touched the pad and it should be used. So I've got the, let's take a little... Good afternoon, crew, and welcome to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel, and here you are in my company car. Now, I was rummaging through my hard drive earlier on today, and I came across some footage of Harley, Tool Girl Harley's original interview. And I thought, well, it's quite apt because Harley got in contact with me the other day and told me she'd like to come back and make some more videos, which was pretty cool, and I was quite astounded actually. But it'd be great to have her back on the screen, so I'm planning some more videos, and I thought, well, in the interim, here's Harley's interview video. Enjoy. This setting is very different to what you would normally expect from my YouTube channel, and I'm here in Auckland at My Bar. Not My Bar, but it's called My Bar, and it's run by Asa, a good friend of mine, and I'm conducting some interviews for a co-host on my YouTube channel. Now, this particular co-host is only going to rock up infrequently to assist with various repairs and diagnostics on vehicles, and I'm looking for a co-host with, well, some very specific attributes. Now, not necessarily just the ability to wield tools and hand me things, but also a young lady that can interact and I can have a bit of fun with during the videos, and has some rather appealing characteristics, not just for me obviously, but for the viewers. So what follows shortly are three clips from the interviews that I'm doing today, and you know, if you'd like to give me some feedback as to which young lady you would prefer and why to be my co-host on the channel, then that information, it's definitely a pub, that information will be really helpful to help point me in the right direction as to really who I should select. Okay, well, without further ado, here's the clips. So it's not so much about how you look on camera, it's more about how we get on together. Put it back so you know. Okay, so what's that? Alright, it's gold. Oh, usually a headlight, and then we can. Okay. Alright. Yeah. The front of the car, the big white lights. Okay, and well, you know what that is. Batteries. I didn't bring a car battery because I didn't want to carry a car battery all the way here. But... So we have a battery and a bulb, so we can do lots of things. It's like doing a student. Alright, so we've got a multimeter. Okay, you've seen one of these before? Yeah. Okay. And it does ohms. Yeah, ohms is the measure of resistance. And we can do an ohms check. Right, so what we can do first of all, well, you can do this. We're going to set the meter on, let's see if we've got a light. Here we go. Cool, okay. So we'll set the meter on, it's on volts. Yeah. Alright, and this is a brand new battery, so it should be charged up. And it's a 9-volt battery, so what you can do is you can put the black one onto the negative terminal, which is that one, and you can put the red one on the positive, and it should give us a voltage reading. Yeah. So we'll try that. Right. 9.18 volts, fully charged. Perfect. Okay. Now we've got these are called jumper leads, so we'll need to make this a bit more interesting because taking the voltage reading is a bit boring, isn't it? And we've got a bulb here, so we can make the bulb light up. Alright, so you can do this. So I tried to pick jumper wires that are not too dirty. Alright, so we don't need that just yet. So you've got a bulb and you've got a battery. You've got two terminals on the battery. 2 terminals on the bulb. Alright, so it's a link, one terminal to one terminal, and then the bulb should light up. You got it. Remember this in school?
We don't have it in the school. I have it in one of my Joe where actually if you want it beats a lab drum. So I just learned how to control some of the teachers because I was their manager. So
Yeah, you can stick it on either of those terminals. Now when you come to put the last connector on, that's when the bulb should light up. Now when the bulb lights up, it's going to get hot quite quickly, so don't burn your fingers.
Okay, so is it okay if I prepare each of them?
Yeah, it doesn't matter which way around it goes. There we go, look at that. Right, so you hang around here somewhere.
Alright.
And I'll hang around here somewhere. Just ignore it.
Good.
Right. So we've got a couple of little things to work our way through.
Yes.
First of all, what attracts you to the position of handy mechanic assistant?
Right. Well, when I first read it, the whole mechanical thing really excited me because I'm into my cars. I love my cars.
Yeah.
I work on my car as much as I can, of course with the help of friends and mates and all sorts.
Yeah.
So when I kind of read it, I was like, this is amazing, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want to do because it's quite hard to work on car stuff with guys because they just go, oh, I'll just do it, I'll do it. Whereas I want to do it. I'm like, I'll do the nuts and bolts, but can you actually just teach me how to do the actual thing? And I will learn because it's something that I love. So I just sink it in like a sponge. So.
Okay, we've got a little thing to go through just to see how you get on.
Yep.
I thought it was more fun. So you can lose the stool if you want.
Yep.
And we're going to do our very best to play to camera now. So this is actually doing stuff. So we've got an audience over there.
Okay.
And first of all, you know what this is? You should know what that is.
Yep.
What do we call that?
No, I actually don't know.
Okay, it's a multimeter. It's probably quite a complicated one compared to what you've seen. So it does volts and amps and all that kind of thing. So, very simply, you obviously know what that is.
Yeah, very.
It's a battery. Okay, so we're going to test the voltage of the battery. So we'll put it on volts. We'll get the old. Right, it's got a gremlin in it. It's got to just flickers. It's great. It's alive. Alright, so we'll stick that on there. And to use a voltmeter, all you need to do, 2 probes.
This is what they were doing with our work car when we put a new sound system into it.
Oh, they were checking
the alternator couldn't keep up, so they were, but very different to that. They looked very different, bigger, what they were using.
Yeah, probably.
Looks like it does the same.
Similar sort of job. Okay, so you've got the 2 probes.
Yep.
Now the red one goes on positive, black one goes on negative, and your battery's all labelled up.
Yep.
You've got it, Lance, there you go. So take a reading, find out what it says, and then present it to the camera for us.
Alright, so we have 0.1, oh, do I say 1 point?
So you've got there...
2.1.
Oh man,
Or do those 0,
that's
0,
really low. Hopefully it's better than that. Jeez. Hang on, let's pull that battery. There we are. Right, so that's more like it.
Do you put, say
connection.
0, 9? Or
No,
just
9.77.
9.77?
9.77 is fine. So
Okay.
if you do it as a camera, you've got to pick it up. 9.77.
Okay.
Alright, because obviously the viewers got to see the screen.
Gotcha.
Because they like that.
So we have this battery and it is reading 9. Oh, wait, how do you do that?
It's hard, isn't it? It's
Hang
hard.
on a second.
Yeah, so you've got to hold those 2 with one hand. You got it,
So we have this battery and it's reading 9.77.
Cool. And it's a 9-volt battery, so it's fully charged.
Perfect.
Okay, right, the next job is I've brought you a bulb.
Ooh.
Alright, so we can do some bulb stuff. So there's a bulb.
Gotcha.
You grab that. And a couple of wires. And all you need to do is connect the 2 wires, one onto each terminal there, and one onto each terminal under the bulb. Doesn't matter, any order, makes no difference on this.
Cool.
And then hopefully the bulb will light up for at least a short period of time until the battery goes flat, because it's quite a small battery.
Alright, so
All the time you're playing to camera with it.
we're just hooking the battery up here and hopefully we have a going light bulb by the end of this.
But be careful because it'll get quite warm pretty quick. If it actually
We
has
don't
enough,
have a going
if it
light.
actually has enough grunt to fire the bulb up, look at that. It
Might
actually-
not have
It's a
enough.
cheap battery, is what it is. I had a really good one, but it went flat.
And we have a not going bulb at the moment.
Yes, we have a Duff battery, don't we?
Yeah, Duff battery.
Okay, well let's see if there's, even though the bulb doesn't light, there might be current flow. So let's do an amperage test. So we'll flick that across onto amps. So you're learning all sorts now.
Yes, already learning.
Flick it into amps, put it around to there. My dodgy meter. Right, we're on amps, which is cool. Okay, now this time you want to break the circuit, so you just pull one of the connectors off. Doesn't matter which, and put that connector onto one of the leads. Any lead you like, makes no difference. And you'll need another lead now to go from the other bulb terminal onto the last of the two pros.
Negative.
Let's see if we've got any current flow going on.
Alright.
So we have, look at that. So there you go, do your thing.
0.2, 0.234.
And it should go down over time because the battery's going more and more flat. That's a terrible battery.
Going flat,
Never-
0.199.
I'll never buy another one of those. Normally I buy good stuff.
1.81.
Okay, so there is current flow. There is definitely current flowing from the battery through the bulb.
Right.
And that tells us that.
Perfect.
Even though the bulb isn't lit.
Okay.
Okay, so before we get into fun stuff, and there's the camera, so when you need to sort of,
Yeah.
it's very, the lighting is crap. So
Okay, that's okay.
yeah, it's nothing like the workshop. The workshop's full of lights. So what interests you in this role?
Well, pretty much I was quite interested in the fact that you're like really into cars and you pretty much just need like a person that can sort of be your assistant but just have a bit of a laugh with and you know, just also look pretty as well. So I thought
Pretty's definitely part of it. Yeah, I mean there's obviously, I think I've given you some background information before, but just as a quick recap. Have you ever seen that program, Home Improvement?
yeah, I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I was a kid, I used to watch it all the time as well. Good old Tim Allen, he had an assistant called Heidi. And she was only on the show every now and again, but it transformed the whole atmosphere of the show and it got a lot more guys interested in the show and stuff. And sure enough, she didn't show much skin on the show because obviously kids watched it, but it added that dimension. And my YouTube channel's got to the point now where I need to evolve a little bit. I've started to bring in other things that, you know, the trail bike riding that I do, and I even went mountain biking the other week, and God forbid, survived that. My son had a great time doing that. Punishing me up all the hills he was terrible. He nearly killed me actually. But no, I'm running the Aurora Marathon on Sunday, so I've got to, and that's going to kill me. Yeah.
Have you been training?
No.
Oh.
Well, this is my training camp, the pub, unfortunately. I'm a terrible Englishman when it
Just
comes
a
to
couple of
that.
shots and it'll be sweet.
So I wanted to add a new dimension, and it is very tongue-in-cheek. That's the underlying thing to it. And I want whoever takes this on board to sort of appreciate where they are with it and what the character's all about. I'm obviously very focused on doing the videos as we get into the technical aspect.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not able to direct you all the time and give you and tell you every line to say because it would be so false.
Yeah.
I need someone that will take it by the balls and just make the character their own and just have fun doing it. And the sort of the way to get you into the show, I thought was, you know, you're a girl next door, you're going to uni, and you just happened to be on YouTube one day and you came across one of my videos and you realise this guy just lives down the road from you, and you're a poor student and you have a really, really unreliable car, as most students do.
Yeah.
And you were driving down to the beach, going past where I live, and the car broke down on you. It started to play up, and you managed to make it up the drive, and then knock on the door, and in you come. And this is like your premiere intro. And I got to open the door, and of course you're dressed for the beach, and you don't have any shoes on at this point. You're just in your bikini, and okay. And I'm like a bit blown away by. Who are you, what are you doing here, that kind of thing, you know? And you're like the damsel in distress kind of part, you know, like, oh, it's broken down, could you have a look at it after you can fix the cars? So I'm like, well, yeah, sure, no worries, but you need to put some shoes on because you're in a workshop. So you push off to your car. All this is off camera, you go off to your car, you get your shoes, obviously some photos or whatever, and you come back in the workshop, will these do? And I'm like, they'll be just fine, you know, whatever, you know, tongue in cheek. And while I go off outside and make noises if I'm fixing a car, you get to steal the camera.
Okay.
And you get to sort of, you know, you're a part-time, because it's actually quite true to life. You're a part-time model, and all of a sudden you're in this studio kind of environment where there's going to be people watching these videos, and you sort of seize the moment to do whatever you want to do to camera for sort of 30 seconds or a minute, introduce yourself, and try and sell yourself as a model, or whatever you like. You can come up with some ideas. And then I come back in, yep, car's all fixed, and you say, well, what do you? And I say, well, you're a poor student, obviously you don't have a lot of money. I'm looking at your car, you don't have very much money at all, I'll make some kind of joke. But if you want to give me a hand, I'm fixing this motorcycle, whatever it is. If you can spare an hour or two, then you can give me a hand doing this, and I can teach you how to fix. And that's sort of the intro that will sort of lead in for you, because I don't want it to be too fake. I'll try and then whenever you're on the show, it can always be, the car's broken down again, Andy, can you take a look for me? And then of course the same routine will happen. I'll go outside, you'll steal the camera, and each time that you steal the camera, you'll be giving the viewers a bit more about your character. So they'll get to your character. Your character will grow, and they'll start to. And they'll be waiting, whenever they're watching the video, they'll be waiting for this car to come up the drive and pop, bang, crash, whatever. And then there's knock on the door. And
every time they like be in a bikini? Just every time.
Yeah, that's going to be, well, I mean, okay, maybe not every time in a bikini, but quite reasonably revealing outfits,
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just fun, and it's what guys want to see.
I know.
As your character evolves, and this is all off the top of my head, and no doubt things may well change, and you may not be, I mean, it's acting, so it makes no difference what the storyline is, it's just an act, but you can start to build into your character that, your dad left when you were really young, and you've not had this father figure, and all of a sudden you've sort of latched onto this Andy Mechanic guy, and you actually quite like him. Okay, he's a lot older than you are, but he's giving you that kind of security. He's always fixing my car, he does a great job. And then you can start to build in the flirtatious element, because I think the guys are quite like that. And then obviously during each of the shoots, I'll do like the odd little close-up here and there. I mean, when you first come to the door, the classic sort of camera angle is, first of all, I'll look you in the face, and then I'll give you the once over, and the camera will do that. So I'll look down at your shoe, bring your feet out, and I'll just run the camera slowly up your legs, and eventually end up with your face. And I think that's the kind of angle that I'm looking at. I'm really flexible as to how your character evolves. It's really your part to take on board, and you can grow it as you wish. There's a couple of underlying themes that you need to build into that character. But also you're going to be actually physically hands-on helping you now and again. So rather than just being a glamour girl in the corner, because that's fine for the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Then it gets boring.
It gets boring, and so Andy, where are you going with this? Because everybody knows that really it's staged. So I need to bring you in on the vids and actually give you stuff to do. Obviously I'm not going to bring you in on a really oily, grimy, horrible vid, because that's not what you want to be. You'll be there for weeks getting all the grime out your nails and stuff. But if we're doing like electrical testing and that kind of thing, it's quite a clean environment, and I can say, can you pass me a 12mm spanner? And we can just cut to you getting the spanner in the sexy way that you would get a 12mm spanner, and then here you go, Andy, good? Is this the right one? I went, stupid woman. You've given me a 13, I asked for a 12. We'll try and do a bit of banter. It's got to be as natural as possible. And I'll actually, if we're taking readings on the meeting, I actually brought some props in.
Okay, cool.
So we can have a little play around. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about how you work the camera, and there's your audience. It's not so much me. You know how it works. Have you done anything like this before?
No.
This is totally different.
Totally different. Like, probably only sort of like thing close to this was like, I was like in the news girl on The Rock like a couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, and I was just like having to like sort of banter and stuff with like, like the radio guys and stuff. And like, it was just funny.
And was it live or was it
pre-recorded? Oh yeah, it was live. Like, they just put me on the spot just like that. I know, and I didn't know I was going to go live. And I was like, oh my god.
How many people are listening? 5? Oh, we're fine, no problem.
Yeah. But yeah, it was funny, and like people would write and be like, yay, or they'd be like, boo.
Hey, listen, the one thing I've learned about doing any kind of sort of public work, videos, being in the paper, whatever, you're never going to please everybody.
Yeah, it's exactly true.
And the bottom line, I always find the most important part is confidence. If you can be confident, you'll win the majority of them over anyway.
Yeah.
If they sense one little sniff of nervousness, that's like a chink in your armour, and they exploit that, and then they think, oh, maybe she's not meant for the part, or whatever, So, anyway, do you know what this is?
Does it read your gauge or something?
Reads a gauge. it's called a multimeter.
Okay.
All right, and a multimeter it can read lots of different kinds of electrical values. It can do volts. Remember school? Volts, amps, resistance, that kind of stuff. So this does all of it. This is at my workshop, so it's actually reasonably clean, which is surprising. And what we've got here is, here's the camera. Go to this camera. Here's your volts. All right, and I'll put the little light on because this is the world's worst place for any kind of filming. It doesn't matter. It's not on. Right. Obviously the bulb's dying in the camera now. So right, there we are. Right. So we've got volts on there, and we have a little battery. Now this might be really menial to you, so forgive me if you feel like it's stupid and like a 3-year-old could do it.
Okay.
But you've got your 2 probes and you've got your 2 terminals in the battery. So what we need to do is take a voltage reading. So you just put 1 probe on each of the 2 terminals. It doesn't really matter too much where we're
At the same time?
Yeah, it makes no difference, just as long as they both end up on there eventually. And we should get, do we get a reading on there? We're going to get a reading. Going all the way. Don't tell me it's gone flat already. There you go. This is the meeting's crap. So what have we got?
8.77.
Bloody hell. She's right. Good job. See? It works. It works. Okay, right. So that's that bit done. That's an easy bit. And anybody can check the voltage on the battery, can't they?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's make some light. What's that?
Light bulb.
Doesn't count. Okay, and what we've got here are a couple of fly leads, test leads. So get rid of the meter for a minute, and you probably remember again from school, from physics, if you connect a battery to a bulb, the bulb should light up. All right, so we're going to put a test lead on the battery, on each of the 2 terminals, and again the same on the bulb. And hopefully the battery's still got enough juice left in it to light the bulb up.
It's like a little science experiment.
It really is, but this is the kind of stuff that we do, and you've got to, and the thing when you do it on camera is you've got to try and explain everything that you're doing, because a lot of the viewers
They don't know.
They don't know, and if you miss something out, that's hang on, onto the other terminal. Yeah, it's not. See, you were going for a grounded one, then, weren't you?
I should have kept my blonde hair.
All right, there you go. Cool. Yeah, don't go there. You're pigeonholing people. You're trying to say that all blondes are thick.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Now the reason why the bulb is dull is because it's a 12-volt bulb out of a car, and this is only a 9-volt battery.
Okay.
But I didn't feel like lugging a car battery all the way into town, so that's that. Okay. So you've got another reading to take. Last one. It's the last one. Okay. So obviously, with that bulb being lit up, there's current flowing from the battery through the filament back to the battery. We've got current flowing through that circuit, and as the bulb's being lit, the charge in the battery is slowly going down. Eventually, the bulb will go out and the battery will be flat. You know all this. All right. But what we'd like to do is measure what the current flow is, and we measure current in amps. All right. So this is where it gets more fun. Then we're going to move wires around, and I really do need a new meter. Okay. So we're now on amps, and you can see a little A on the screen. There we are. You see? Always place the camera. Right. I always forget. I'm terrible. But saying that, I very rarely have to do 2 takes. I normally do most of my stuff in 1 take. But the way that the workbench is we've got a big strip light at the back to light me up and you up. So it's really well lit.
Okay.
And we see how it's going now.
It's gonna die.
That was a crap battery. It was brand new this morning. Okay, wasn't buy one of those again. Okay, so you're doing this, right? So 2 probes, and when we're measuring amps, we have to put the meter in the circuit. So I've broken the circuit, so you can put that onto one of the probes. Doesn't matter which. And I'll give you another lead. Cool. And that one goes on the other probe, and then onto the empty terminal on the battery. And hopefully the bulb will still light a little bit, and we should get some kind of reading. Oh, there we are. Okay, so what do you reckon we've got on there?
1.2267.
It's going to keep going down because it's going down because the battery's going flat. That's what it is. I mean, look out, that's not even, you're not going to drive,
No, it's pretty much.
you can't even drive home with that. It's actually just died, hasn't it? Okay, so we've killed that one. There goes my prop for this afternoon for the last interview later on. Okay, so this is like the cleanest sort of kind of thing that I'll get you to do.
Okay.
I can't guarantee that you're not going to get a little bit grubby here and there.
That's okay.
You're immune to oil?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And the other thing with the workshop is it is actually a real workshop. It's not a studio that's made to look like a workshop. It's quite different. So there are hazards in there.
Okay.
So there could be hot things like exhausts and things from the engines, and there could be sharp things. So obviously we'll address that as we go along through the day. And obviously my priority one is to make sure we don't lose any of your blood in the workshop. That'll be.
I've actually burnt my leg on an exhaust before and it really hurt.
It does. When I was a kid, I fell off my first motorcycle on the gravel drive, and I was only about 7 or 8, and I was trapped under the bike, and my leg was on the exhaust, and I could just hear my skin sizzling away.
That's horrible.
It was horrible movie. It was horrible. It really, really hurt. It took about 2 years for the scar to disappear. But hey, that part of my leg, I don't need to shave that anymore. It's great.
Oh, sweet.
Good? Happy
So
with that?
I don't know if this helps, but I also just getting my car back today. I don't know if you're interested, but it's actually like a 1980 Ford Escort. Yeah, and it's purple. It's really cool. So I don't know if you'll like include that or something.
Yeah, that's the Ford Escort. Which mark Ford Escort?
It's Mark II.
In purple.
Yeah.
Dearly purple.
I know. My boyfriend wants me to change it, and I'm just like, no.
I want to know.
Yeah.
No, that's
so cool.
actually worth quite a lot of money.
Definitely.
You keep hold of that because it's only going to get increasing value. But with all these Fast and Furious movies and stuff now, they've had they've come back.
Yeah.
Of those kind of cars.
Yeah, I just thought I'd mention that.
Good. yeah, I'm well chuffed with that. That's cool. Yeah, and Ford Escort, it's actually quite an easy vehicle to work on. It'll look good on camera.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
Pop the bonnet and pretend I'm fixing it. Your boyfriend, this guy knows nothing. Why is he doing that? You know, when you look at pictures, you get a preconception about somebody.
Did you think I was going to be like a real bitch
You
or something?
you make judgments. No, I really, I can't say I didn't know what to expect, but what I will say is you're very different in a really good way to what I thought you would be like based on some of your photos.
Cool.
So take that as a pure compliment.
Yeah. Any particular colour bikinis?
No, just whatever stands out on the camera. Whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable in. It's not a porn show.
Yeah.
It's just for a bit of fun.
Cool.
So we'll have a play with it and see where it goes.
Cool.
All right.
Great.
Good job. Do you want a drink before you go?
Oh, no, I'm okay. Before like runs out of its time. Yeah. Do you someone else now?
No, I've got nothing till 20 to 6.
Oh, wow. That's a while. At least you can chill like that.
Oh, I know the barman.
Oh,
So
cool.
Ace is a good bloke. He looks after me very well.
Awesome. Okay.
Cool. Okay. Well,
Nice meeting
thank
you.
you very much. I will be in touch.
Cool.
So there you go. Maybe now you can see why I chose Harley to be my tool girl, or at least the first of Andy Mechanic's tool girls. So watch this space. I'm sure she'll be back very soon with lots more interesting videos. Okay, crew. Well, if you want to subscribe to the channel, then somewhere up there should be the subscribe button. Click on subscribe. You'll see the little gear icon. Click on the gear icon, and then you can tick the box to turn on notifications. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and Twitter. Feel free to communicate through any of those portals. But if there's a question about the video, then please do keep it on YouTube and add to the comments down the bottom. All right, chaps, I will see you next time. Cheers, over and out.